Hey everyone, and welcome back to Paws Across America. Before we dive in, I just want to thank you for joining me on this incredible journey. It's been a blast exploring all these new places and going to all these new states that we've never been to before. And of course, traveling with my little two buddies here has been fun. Now, this is the fifth and final segment of our trip. We're currently heading to Erie, Pennsylvania. Specifically Lake Erie. Now, a quick fun fact is that it's the shallowest and the warmest of all 5 Great Lakes, and it also supplies drinking water to over 10 million people across the Midwest and the Northeast. Anyway, that's where we're headed next on our cross-country journey. You ready to go? So right now we're just cruising around this Presque Island State Park, which is this little peninsula that has 11 different beaches along the shoreline here. Each has kind of a different view of the lake. We've just been stopping at a few of them and stretching our legs and let Common and Copper explore a bit. It's a nice place to spend the day. Alright, well, I just collected a little bit of sand to take back to the west coast with me. I've been doing that every time we hit a new shore. Thought I'd get one more shot of the lake. The water is indeed warm and it's very clear. There's our little car. It's been doing really well along our travels. No problems. It's been a fun afternoon exploring the shoreline of the lake. Now we're back on the road again, headed south to Canton, Ohio. Now the main reason we're going to Canton, Ohio is to see a statue of President William McKinley. It's a statue that actually used to stand right in the center of a neighboring town where I live called Arcata. I can't exactly remember why people didn't like the statue, but it had something to do with how he treated the Native Americans in the mid to late 1800s. After years of people protesting, throwing paint on the statue, and just vandalizing it, the city decided to remove it in 2019, and it was then shipped over 2,500 miles away to where we're going to next in Canton, Ohio. So we're headed to see Mr. McKinley next.
Now the California town of Arcata is preparing to take down a nearly 9-foot tall statue of President McKinley because of the federal government's treatment of Native Americans.
So I just wanted to mention really quick that I don't have an opinion about William McKinley one way or another. Visiting the statue wasn't about honoring him. It was more about just seeing where this piece of history from my home area ended up. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case anyone was wondering. Our next destination takes me to a town in West Virginia that was founded in 1838, named Beckley, West Virginia. It's a small mountain town that carries a deep personal connection to my family history. Beckley was founded by my third great-grandfather, Alfred Beckley, and named in honor of his father, John James Beckley, who was my fourth great-grandfather. So for me, this next stop isn't just another place that we're going to on the map. It's kind of more a journey into my own roots. John James Beckley, my fourth great-grandfather, he was the first clerk of the U.S. House of Representatives and the first librarian of Congress, appointed back in the early days of our nation under President Washington or Jefferson, I can't remember, but this will be my second time visiting the town. I was actually out here in 2018 when I took my first trip across country. And my purpose here is to basically just kind of feel the area out again and visit Wildwood, which is a historic home that my third great-grandfather built and lived in during the mid-1800s. I'll also be stopping by a statue that honors his legacy, and then visiting the family cemetery where some of my ancestors now rest. So we're deep into the Appalachian Mountains right now. Our elevation is about 3,000 feet. The air just feels so crisp and smells so clean out here. The forest stretches for miles and miles. We'll be camping under the stars the next few days, surrounded by nothing but nature. Okay, you guys want to come out? Want to check out the campground? Okay, come on, Comet. Come here, look it. You got baby pine cones up here. They're just your size. Let's see if we can get one. Oh, those are tough to get off. There we are. See? Hopper. Look it. Look it. See? Want to go chase it? There's just something unmatched about the beauty of West Virginia. It's just so serene out here. Absolutely stunning. So from these peaceful hills, we journey next to Daniel Boone National Forest. We're going to explore the world's longest natural sandstone arch. It rises about 25 feet tall and it spans about 75 feet. So we'll be walking over that next. Sky Bridge? on that one? What do you think? Yeah, you don't like that, Alright, so our next stop takes us to Casey, Illinois. It's a small town with some really big things. It's famous for its larger-than-life attractions that are scattered all around the town. Now, this will be my second time visiting this small town, and what inspired me the most about Casey is that even the smallest towns can make a really big impression. So, Comet Copper and I, we're gonna go adventure around the town today and see just how many big things we can find. That might just be where we're going to eat dinner tonight. So we didn't find the world's largest pitchfork, the gavel, the cuckoo clock, or the baseball. Maybe someday we'll make our way back out here and track those items down. It's starting to get a little late. Comet was starting to get a little grumpy. But the next few days are going to be a little tricky because the temps are supposed to start climbing into the high 90s. So the time that we spend outdoors is going to be somewhat limited. 73 days is a long time on the road, but when you have to deal with the heat on top of two chihuahuas, it makes it that much more challenging. Come on, Copper. Oh, you're doing much better, huh? So we've just been chilling at this rest area east of the Missouri border for the past couple hours. It's 102 degrees outside, and Comet is just panting like crazy. He's been miserable. We have this nice breeze blowing right now, so he's pretty content right here. We're supposed to be in St. Louis here this afternoon, but we're kind of holding back for a couple more hours until the temperature drops a little bit.
The world's largest bottle of ketchup. What haven't they thought of?
right, so we're back on the road again, and we are now headed to the northernmost point in the United States, which is a little island that you have to actually cross into Canada briefly for. So we have to take a ferry and go across the Lake of the Woods to a place called Angle Inlet, and it's in Minnesota. So we'll be heading there next, and then afterwards we're going to be going to Mount Rushmore in South Dakota.
He's the big protector, brave and small, dreaming through the day. Happy birthday, Comet, you're the best. Paws across America, 41 states gone by, under open roads and big blue skies. Now we're at this rest stop, taking a break. Comet turns 9 today, it's time to eat cake. He's the big protector, brave and small, dreaming through the day, seen it all. So here's to you, our sleepy star. You've done so much and traveled so far. So here's to the miles, the love and all the rest. Happy birthday, Comet, you're the best.
our journey driving coast to coast with my two little chihuahuas is upon us. I took on the open road and we really discovered just how big and beautiful this country is. I got to experience skydiving for the first time, Comet and Copper, explored different parks, made lots of acquaintances. Every sunrise was a new experience and it was a lot of fun. Now stay tuned, there's more to share about how this journey came together, and I'll break down perhaps what went extremely well and what I would do different next time. But for now, I'm going to leave you with some pictures from our trip, and we'll see you in our next adventure.